Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Ryan Aranda here, my best life Paraguay. And today I'm going to be going over my first 500 days here, right? And so what's on the screen now is going to be Instagram stories, some photos, and a little bit of footage from the month before I left, right? So right here is the flyer that my sister in the States, my wonderful sister made for me when we had a family reunion about a month before I took off to Paraguay, which was last year in July of 2024. Right. So here's some other Instagram stories I had that I was putting on. Right. Just give my thought process. It was, quite an emotional time, to say the very least. Right. I was feeling a lot of things about past relationships. Was hoping to continue a relationship here. I'll get into a little bit of that stuff. So that's why I'm just sharing old Instagram stories here. This is literally the last meal that I made, jambalaya. I'm a hell of a cook, right? So this is literally the last meal that I made in the U.S. And then just some footage outside of my apartment. This was my last winter in the U.S. So, this is the first time in my life since I've been a baby, right? That I haven't had to go through a Wisconsin winter, right? I'm repping Wisconsin today, as you guys can tell, right? It's the university I attended and the state I grew up in, right? So, just for some nostalgia, I just have the street I lived on, some footage of when I would walk my dog, and whatnot. I got some footage coming up when we went to the dog park with my dad. So, just giving you a little bit of a just a sense of my old life, man. And it's really crazy for me to honestly to look at this footage, right? Even when I went back and found this stuff, it's pretty crazy, man. Because it's been so long since I've lived the old life. I feel like, you know, and so yeah, so this is bringing up memories for sure. This is my little back porch area. I lived in a one bedroom. I was paying 1,200 a month for my tiny little one bedroom on the first floor. So you guys can just take a. I don't smoke cigarettes. My friends do, right? Anyways, so this is. I lived in a college town, so this is very much kind of a downtown college area. I lived close to the job that I worked at in the States, right? And so yeah, so that's what this footage is, man. Just giving you a little bit of a glimpse to my old life, right? And so now I'll get a little bit back in to my story, but this is my room, right? Tiny little room. I tried to make everything as homey as I could, though, man. And my dog's my best friend. He's right here chewing on the bone. You guys might be able to hear in the background. This is the last couple times I went to the dog park with him and my dad. Right, there's something very special that we bonded over, and so. My guy's gonna take off here and go chase the other dog and whatever. You guys understand. You guys know the states, right? We have dog parks. They're wonderful. That's something that I would love to see more of here in Paraguay, etc. So anyway, this is just leading up, man. This is just leading up, and these were emotional times, right? Uh, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna be very honest, right? I'm very known for oversharing a little bit, but not this month, but a couple months before this, man. Like when we were walking around the dog park, I just broke down. I broke down and then in front of, and when my dad was there, we were having small talk conversations. But if I'm gonna be honest, it was a very emotional time. Because I felt like, and I'm just gonna be honest here, I felt like I didn't have the tools to be successful in the States. I had a failed relationship as well, right? And all that stuff, right? So I'll continue that in a second. But here, this is like a bar that I went to. Literally, just had one drink. I went 3 days without sleeping, and it was terrible. I actually broke my foot. Not good at all. I had two buddies that were wonderful that helped me move out. So if you guys don't know, I was doing so much at once, man. I was finishing up a job that I wasn't able to continue abroad, but I was literally finishing that up to the last day. I was moving out of my apartment and I was trying to get packed for an international move. So I was doing so much in the last week, right? And I was so stressed. I literally did not sleep for 3 days. I might have passed out for like 1 hour just because I had so much to do, right? And it was so stressful, right? And so yeah, this is where I'm on the plane here, and long 14-hour trip, 2 plane rides with a broken foot. I had to get wheeled around in the airport. It was absolutely disastrous. Like it, you know, but I made it. And this is the first Airbnb I stayed in for a month. It's a wonderful place in Yembi, and a condominium park. Area has a pool in the bottom. I was able to walk my dog around. And then me and my dog, I don't have it here, but we reunited because he had to come separate on cargo, right? And so because of that, yeah, he had to come separate on cargo, and he was here about 3 weeks after I made it here. Okay, so yeah, but he made it and got through customs, and I had my contacts from there and here, get him here. But me and my dog reunited, man. I wasn't gonna come here without my dog, really truly. I don't believe in abandoning dogs, right? I've had him since a puppy, since a baby, and this whole move, I was gonna go all in with him. If I'm gonna be very honest, right? Like I had planned out about 15 months here or so, and then I had to make something work, whether it's gonna be my own personal endeavors I was working on. One of those is this channel, consultations, all that, but also linking with people with residency, which I still do, right? And we do referrals and all that. But also find online work, right? And I have, and it's been a blessing, right, to stay here for this long and continue to stay here, right? Otherwise, I do have family here, which you're seeing on screen now. And if I did have to go back to the U.S., my dog would have had to stay with family. I had to go back to the U.S. for 6 months, a year, etc., then come back down here again. So a lot of people will call me crazy, and I am. But getting more into backstory, um, I was lost in the U.S., man. I mean, in every pretty much every sense of the word, uh, I was going through it. After a breakup, but also I was really truly grasping the economic realities, the house prices, even inflation, even last year, and just everything was just not looking good. Um, and the thing that really hurt was I thought that I was had done quite a few things right in life. Did the whole college thing, graduated, had the job, was making a good salary out the door, right? But I was just seeing that the U.S. was just becoming I was becoming outpriced, like most people, right? And I didn't have a teammate, I didn't have my partner, I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't have a romantic partner anymore that I was linked to either. So which after a breakup, for the better, I mean, you're free to do what you want, right? And so before that, backing up a little bit, I did come down here and do and get my residency all settled up. So I did have my documentation before I came down here for the permanent move, right? So I did get all that settled. Some people do all of it at once, but I did have that settled, and so I knew that okay, one thing I do have settled is my documentation is in place, right? And so yeah, so I came down here, and what you're seeing on screen is my dog playing with my sister's dog and my niece and nephew's dog, right? When they met, and it was a fun time. And this was the first couple weeks or month or so. And so right after this, if you guys probably seen on my channel, I moved into a duplex, right? And that was my first year. Now I'm living in a different house. This is my second year, right? They're about the same price point. A little bit under $400 if you want to check out either one of those videos. Also, all the other ones that I've shown properties, duplexes, apartments, houses, all that good stuff on the channel. And so yeah, so I started my life here, right? And I'm 500 days in. And it's a hell of a thing, man. And I do have family here, so I'll get just a little bit into that story. You guys can go check out the longer versions if you'd like to. But I do have my family here, right? And well, first of all, before I get into that, what they're doing here is they're making the herb for yerba mate. This is when Aaron came down last year, and uh, and so you guys are gonna start seeing some random footage on the screen, right? But I'll just keep going with the story. So to back up all the way, because 80% of people are new to the channel, I was adopted, right? That's why I grew up in the States. I grew up with my family in the States. And then I met my biological family here 13 years ago in 2012. And I kept visiting every single year that I could. And eventually, because of life circumstances and what I've just explained, I decided to move here, right? Give it a shot. Give myself a year plus and give myself a gift of time back to myself to figure out, give myself a little bit of time to do what I want, to start this channel, to meet people, to become more cultured, to be more fluent in the language, all that stuff, man. Give myself a little bit of time back in life, to pursue my passions and what I want to do and get linked up with the correct people, all that stuff. And that's exactly what I've been doing, right? And so yeah, I decided to continue life. And if you guys want to know more in depth about my family history, all that, there's multiple videos on that. Just go to the playlist, My Story, and you guys can go to literally video number 1 on the channel. But there's other ones that I break down certain aspects of my life as well. But that's the gist of it, right? That's why I'm here and I have family here. And I love spending time with my family, right? I also love spending time with other people I met and you guys as well every once in a while. But yeah, and yeah. Otherwise, I've been living life, man. But it was the decision of a lifetime, really, truly. And I don't say that lightly because I sacrificed a lot. I sacrificed a lot of time. I sacrificed everything I knew from back in the States. I sacrificed the comfort of keep on doing the familiar, right? Which is safer in many regards, right? Not like literally safe, but I mean just a safer projection. But at the same time, I was coming to the realizations that the safe path is the slow path, which is a path to me not accomplishing things that I really want to accomplish in my 30s and my 40s, right? And the economics, man, it was everything. Yes, I also knew that I had a way better chance at finding a life partner down here, a wonderful woman down here, right? And so, I've been dating girls and all that good stuff, and had one girlfriend down here, and whatever, I'm not gonna get into all that in detail right now. Maybe I'll do a separate video later. But the point is my culture here, the Latin American culture, Paraguayan culture, aligns way more. Women are very beautiful here too. It's no secret, man. Like that's not even a secret at all. Like Latin American women are very beautiful. And traditionally a little more traditional, maybe not 100%, but like more traditional in pretty much every sense of the word. And plus, man, we have a real true old what would you call it, old country culture here. We're very Catholic, but we're also very indigenous, and we speak 2 languages, Guarani and Spanish. So you're closer to your indigenous roots and heritage, and so there's so many cultural aspects of being down here that's just wonderful. And everybody that's here on the screen right now, this is Eric. He's El Arte del Nómada, and we went to his event here. But He's Mexican, and he fell in love with the country. And Aaron and his dad, same thing. Aaron was down here back in March of this year, getting his temporary residency all figured out. You know, and so everybody comes down here and they're so pleasantly surprised, right? And again, it wasn't that much of a shock because I've been coming down here for 12 years or 13 years plus by myself, right? And and yeah, so I already got kind of the shock value out of the way from all the years. But I just wanted to go to the place where I could finally choose where I wanted to be. Again, it has nothing to do against anything or anyone in the states, right? But but my country aligns more with my personality, with my goals, where I really want to be physically and present, right? And so I went all in. I went all in on the dream, right? Took a lot of sacrifice. I don't own a single thing in the states. I sold everything, or it's sitting at my parents, and they've helped me sell stuff, and and so like I don't have a house. I didn't have a vehicle. I wasn't tied down that way. I made a plan to get my dog here, which happened successfully, thank God. But I was all in on the dream, and I still am. And it's kind of no going back unless something drastic were to happen, and I really needed to. Right? I have not been back to visit the U.S. quite yet, which is pretty shocking in itself, to be honest. Again, we're very far away in the world from the U.S. This is, if I remember correctly, probably 7,000 miles, something like that. Don't quote me on that. It's something like that. But it's where I'm on the other side of the planet. This is not just where you go back to the U.S. every 2 months. This is not Mexico. This is not the Caribbean. This is not one flight away. It's two very long flights and very expensive flights away, right? So I decided to go in all in on the dream, right? And there's so many things, man. There's so many wonderful experiences that I've had here. What you're seeing on the screen now is my uncle and aunt um, made a poroto. So it's like a pretty much essentially a bean soup, which what you guys are seeing on the screen. And I tried it, and then Aaron and his dad came down, and they tried it as well. We ate it at my aunt's house, actually, because uh, they were on their way to a soccer game, right? To see my cousin play. But anyways, so before that, what's on the screen here is this is a traditional old school oven, right? And people love them to make what do they make? Chipa and other stuff, right? Man, I'm forgetting the name of these. Tataqua, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I believe it's a tataqua, but don't quote me. If I remember, I'll put it down in the description below. But yeah, like I said, I went in all on my dream, and I've had wonderful experiences, and I was really I was not feeling the travel aspect anymore, because the thing is, when you travel down here, you get heartbroken every time you go back. You know, every time I would come down here for 3 4 weeks, you could do a lot. You can live an amazing time down here for a month at a time. But I was just doing the calculations, and it's like, well, why not give myself a year at a time? 15 months, 18 months. Let's give myself one chance in life to see if it works. You know what I mean? And even if worse came to worse and it didn't work altogether, well, I'm still able to go back to the states. I'm a citizen of the states. I'm a permanent resident here. Uh, so it's not like it was that consequential. You know, so I can certainly go back. I just haven't been back yet. Okay. And so what's on the screen here is this is where I believe we were watching Paraguay against either I think Argentina or Colombia, if I remember correctly. But we are at the food park, and you guys have seen me go live from the Pinedo food park quite a few times, right? And this is actually Polo's footage. So shout out to Polo because he's making a lot of this video happen here. Aaron's pops, and so a lot of this footage is coming from Polo himself. But yeah, man, this is what food parks are like, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, man. Like this is not something that goes down in the States, right? And they have affordable food stands, and they have like affordable beers and drinks and whatnot, and a game up on the screen that you're watching a national game. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it, man. The even the Olympics in the U.S. doesn't even come close. But when you watch a national game down here with your people, it's a unreal experience. I mean, you're all going for the same team. I mean, it's incredible. And like when you score, people go crazy. When you win, it's I mean, it's an amazing feeling, you know. And so yeah, I mean, I've just had one great experience after another. And again, I don't do this every day. I live pretty calm throughout the week, and like Monday through Friday, I'm pretty much on my computer grind. I might step out like one time midweek, maybe, if that. But now it's pretty much to the weekends. But I met so many more people. I met so many more people. Simon's Canadian. Aaron's from the border area, Mexicali area, with his pop. So I'm just meeting everybody around the country, around the world. You wonderful folks who follow me, and these are all people that I never would have met just staying in the city that I'm from. Again, no offense, but like and again, this is the biggest theme. Is just like I felt stuck there, man. In the U.S., I felt like I wasn't gonna accomplish anything. Yeah, I could maybe keep getting promoted or jobs and pay a little bit more and a little bit more, but even then I wouldn't keep up with inflation. Even then I wouldn't keep up with the house prices. Even then I wasn't vibing with the women anymore in the States. It wasn't like it even was like even a decade ago. And so like and if you just take one look at this food park, like you guys can actually like talk to people here. You know what I mean? And actually like strike up conversation with ladies and stuff too. And it's not just some weird thing, you know? And so, this is you're literally seeing on screen like a healthy country, a healthy national community, right? A young nation at that. A young nation. This nation is significantly younger in the age of the population. And so like you just start adding these things up, man, and it just starts making sense. Like for somebody my age to give yourself a shot in a country like Paraguay, safety aspect, the community aspect, the dating aspect, the connecting with friends aspect, the culture, the food. I mean, we're all going crazy now. I think we either score or we won. I think we scored here. Um, you know, and so it's just it's consistently good times, man. And like when you're in a healthier country, you don't find yourself uh, self isolating so much. You don't find yourself in your head so much. Yes, there's moments that I brought up in a couple of last videos. Like, man, sometimes I do. There's something that kind of triggers me to think of the past again, right? So right here, we're actually at the club right next door, California Bar, right? And this is right after a national game, so everybody's in a good mood. We just won the game. Again, I forget against who. I think it might have been like Colombia or Argentina. I forgot. But like everybody's just having a great time, uh, and whatnot. And yeah, man. I mean, this is good, healthy stuff, dude, for your life. Good vibes, buenas vibras. Like it's tranquilo, it's chill, but also fun. you know, and I mean, you really feel like you're going back in time when you go to some of these countries that are younger, that more affordable, that people have healthy interactions, people are better socially calibrated, which my guy Esteban said in the interview we just did together, and it's true. People know how to act around another. There's not like 10 million subcultures either. It's mostly just like one homogenous culture. Yeah, there's some, off cultures of rock or whatever, but like it's all pretty much similar. And it's nice to be in a place like that. Um, and everybody's just proud to be Paraguayan, man. Not in the way that we like discriminate against other people, but like in the way that like we can be proud of who we are and where we're at, and have a good time. You know what I mean? And so this footage is like some of the last footage from this year that I'm gonna use for this video, because this is a special video, man. Like, being reaching 500 days is a special thing, right? And then eventually reaching 750 and 1,000, I consider it to be a special thing, right? And I guess I'm proud of myself. I mean, I don't ever hardly ever tell myself that, because I'm so self-critical. Yes, I wish there could be more money coming in. I wish I could be better in many aspects, to be honest. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I gotta recognize what I have done, what I have accomplished, right? Even the meaning part of all this, like me starting this channel, like this is actually meaningful. This is arguably the most meaningful project I've ever done, right? Um, Showing you guys the culture, inviting you, continuing the Paraguayan culture of being a decent host, being somebody who is an ambassador of the country for the better and not for the worst. So I try to live up to what my people have always done historically. Paraguay is one of the most inviting nations on earth, and you hear it from people who come here too, from every single channel that you'll follow, and to the point where people are, I mean, shocked. he, you know, and it's just it's a wonderful thing. Um, it really is, and um, again, I'm just happy to continue this journey, and I'm really thankful for you guys who follow me on this journey as well. I'm thankful for the friends that I met. I'm thankful for the family I have here, and the family I still stay in touch with in the states. If you guys don't know, I'm gonna be meeting up with my parents in Panama. So yeah, that'll be in about what 2.5 more months. So you guys will see some footage from Panama. Start traveling. Hope to also get to Brazil next year, and at least to maybe one city in Argentina. We'll see, right? We'll just play it by ear. But regardless, I just try to be somebody who's helpful, somebody who's trying to bring the right people here to Paraguay, but also live a good life myself. And you know, and if that's one way I can give back in this world, that's one way I can make my country better. If there's one way I can start to wake people up to the realities of what the states is and is not, and consider a place like Paraguay. It may not be exactly Paraguay, but just the giving you guys the idea and the comfort of thinking about moving abroad. It is possible, man. Um, Again, you don't have to be as crazy as I am, like, but at the same time, staying dedicated to something, to your goals, is important, right? Because if you go half in on something, that's not good, right? Like you want to get like your paperwork right, for example. You want to do your research on like getting your dog here, that kind of stuff, because if one of those things goes wrong, you could find yourself in a very difficult situation, to say the least, right? So yeah, obviously do the planning. That's why exactly the pre-journey took a year and a half. That's why I had to do a residency trip aside. Like, this wasn't just a 1 day process and I just showed up in Paraguay. I really had to consider it, think about it, do a residency trip, save up money, make sure I had a good credit score, and all that stuff before I left. Made sure I had my paperwork in order, and my passport, my American passport, was good for another 9, 10 years, and all that stuff. So the logistical aspect is very important. I'm not trying to downplay that, but same time, take a chance on living your best life. Really, truly, it could be the most rewarding experience that you've ever done, the best gift that you could ever done. And something I tell to especially younger guys is, you know, one of the best gifts you can give yourself in life is some time back, some time to figure yourself out, some time to live a little bit. Instead of just a week vacation somewhere or even a month vacation, maybe sacrifice a little bit more, maybe make it 6 months in a lower cost of living country, maybe make it a year, above a year, etc. Try to make connections when you're here. Try to uh, do something like this. Show people the journey, and it could really benefit you in the long run. And so I'm gonna wrap up there. So a couple last notes. Channel stuff. I just released some merch, right? So I don't have it in hand myself. For you guys who are already here in Paraguay, it does ship around the world though, so you guys can start getting My Best Life. I just released the MBLP OG collection. I call it, right. It has the text, the same font that I use for My Best Life Paraguay logo. Fun stuff. If you want to show up or even just gift yourself that to yourself in the holidays, kind of wear it and then and embody what it's going to feel like when you move here. And follow the channel and all that. I'll be very appreciative. All this stuff really helps me out, really truly. And you'd be supporting the channel. Giving yourself a goal also. So that's the merch stuff. I do consultations, you guys. I just had a couple this last couple weeks, and they went good. I'm gonna be honest. Like, people hit me up for everything, and I will sit down with you guys, and I'll go over whatever you want to talk about. So let me know. The link is always below in the description. Um, Besides that, just thank you to everybody. Thank you to family. Thank you to friends. Thank you to followers. Everybody who's been part of this journey and are continuing to be a part of this journey, um, online, in person, if I meet you, and in every aspect, right? I really am appreciative. And so, yeah, I'm gonna end it there, and just keep on the channel, and I'm gonna see where I take it. But there's a ton of content already. If you are new to the channel, you can back watch videos. I cover a lot of stuff down here, you guys. Show you a lot of stuff. All right. So, anyways, I'm out of here. Thanks again. I'm Ryan Aranda, My Best Life Paraguay. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, you guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.